Uh, Hello dear student. Okay. So next we are dealing with what the 12th syllabus, and already we have completed the 4th chapter. Now we will deal with what the next chapter of your PUC second year, that is important for the what again Karnataka CT or maybe NEET point of view. So that chapter has a name magnetism and the matter. Okay. So in this chapter you will learn how the magnets are created and what are the properties of the magnets that you have. Okay, the magnets having north pole and the south pole. So what are the exactly properties, how you can deal with them, and what are the equations you are going to be deal. Okay. So here first the term is nothing but the magnetism. So magnetism is nothing but it is the property of attractive or maybe repulsive property of any material. That material is known as what? Magnet itself. Okay, and that magnet has a directive property. Why directive property? Because always when you suspend this magnet, it will always point towards the what? A north pole. Okay, so that shows the direction, that's why it is the what? Directive property. And then next is it is an some magnets are made up of what? Artificial magnets, and the some are natural magnets. So natural magnets examples are what? Iron ore or maybe a lodestone. Iron ore, maybe a lodestone. Okay, so these are the what? Natural magnets, they occur naturally. And here artificial magnet means what? The magnets which are made by using the natural magnets. Okay, so artificial magnets have different shapes, but natural magnets doesn't have any shape. Okay, so this is what the difference between them. And natural magnets are very weak. Okay, and then artificial magnets are very strong. Okay, now in magnets the monopoles does not exist. Okay, so monopoles means what? There is no separate north pole and there is no separate south pole is present. Okay, so they exist together always. Okay, so you cannot separate north pole and south pole. Okay, so that's why monopole does not exist. Okay, single pole does not exist. Okay, next some basic terms in the magnetism. If you want to learn regarding the magnetic field or a magnetism, you have to know the basic terms. So first term is what? The magnetic field itself, or you can say magnetic field lines. Around the electric charge there is electric field. Same way around the magnet there is what? Magnetic field of lines. Okay, and then there are magnetic poles. Unlike the electric poles are there positive and negative, same way magnetic poles are there, maybe north pole and south pole. Okay, and those magnetic poles are represented by Qm. Magnetic poles represented by Qm. Okay, so next is magnetic axis. Okay, so magnetic axis, unlike the there is what? If you have the positive charge and if you have negative charge, so the axis which passes through the positive charge to negative charge, that is known as dipole axis. Same way, if you have the magnet north pole and the south pole, the line which passes from the north pole to south pole, so this axis is known as what? A magnetic axis. Okay, and exactly magnetic equator, the line which divides the magnet into equally half, that means it makes the south and the north equally half. So that line is known as what? Magnetic equator. And the next is what? Magnetic length. Okay, so magnetic length means what? Actually if you consider this as a magnet, okay, so there is a what? A north pole and the south pole. So here is the north pole and here you have south pole, but this north pole doesn't reside exactly at the corner edge of this bar magnet. It is somewhere here, north pole and then south pole. Okay, so this length from here to here, this length is known as what? A magnetic length. Okay, and then there is what? A geometrical length. Geometrical length means what? The exact edge to edge length. So between the poles it is magnetic poles, and then geometrically means what? Whatever the shape is there, so edge to edge, that length is known as what? A geometrical length. Okay, and then magnetic length is, there is what relation between the magnetic length and the geometrical length. So magnetic length is exactly equal to what? 0.4 times geometrical length. That means if you consider here, geometrical length is larger than the what? Magnetic length. So here it is, geometrical length is larger than the what? Magnetical length. So remember this relation, sometimes they ask directly. Okay, so magnetic length exactly equal to what? 0.84 times geometrical length. Okay, so next, unlike the Coulomb's law in electrostatic, if the two charges are there, they can attract by using what? Coulomb's law of force of attraction, that is nothing but F is equal to what? 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square. Same way if there are two poles or if there are two poles, okay, maybe if you consider the north or north, they repel. If you consider the north south, they attract. So by what amount these two magnets are or magnetic poles are attracted, that is given by the what? Coulomb's law of magnetism. Okay, Coulomb's law of magnetism, and that is given by, if these are the what? Two poles. Okay, and the pole strength is given by, this is what? The QM1 and this is QM2, and separated by some distance r. Then the force between them is given by F is equal to what? Mu naught upon 4 pi multiplied by QM1 QM2 divided by r square, where Q1 QM1 QM2 are the nothing but pole strength. Unlike the charge has a 1 coulomb 2 coulomb that charge. Okay, same way this magnetic pole strength is measured in terms of what? QM1. Okay, and then unit of the pole strength is what? Ampere meter. That means this QM1 M2 is measured in ampere meter. Unlike the charge is measured in coulomb, same way pole strength is measured in ampere meter. Okay, so remember this equation. Okay, so next is magnetic dipole moment. Okay, so magnetic dipole moment, unlike if you have the positive charge and if you have the negative charge dipole. Okay, so there is what? Dipole moment, and that dipole moment is 2qa. Dipole moment is given by 2qa, and it is always directed from the negative charge to positive charge. Same way there is what? In this case also there is what? A magnetic dipole. So here this is the magnet, okay, having a south pole and then north pole, and then south pole and the north pole is separated by distance of 2l. Then the magnetic dipole moment is m is equal to what? Charge, sorry, strength of the either dipole multiplied by 2l. Okay, so strength of the either dipole multiplied by distance between them. Okay, so it is nothing but m is equal to what? 2ql. It is nothing but 2ql. Okay, same with dipole, electrical dipole, and then unit of this. Okay, qm is measured in ampere meter and length is measured in meter, so it becomes what? Ampere meter square. Ampere meter square, or it has another unit, that is nothing but joule per Tesla. It is known as what? Joule per Tesla. So remember these two unit. Okay, so important. Then next is, unlike the you have taken. Okay, so if you have the positive charge plus q and if you have the negative charge minus q, so at the equatorial point and at the along the axial point you have find out the electric field also. Same way if you have the magnet, okay, so the line which is passes through the south north, it becomes axis, and the line which divides the south and north, it becomes equatorial. So what is the magnetic field along the axial point of this magnet? It is given by B axial is equal to what? Mu naught upon 4 pi 2m. M is nothing but the magnetic dipole, r is nothing but the what? That particular distance. Okay, and then divided by r square minus l square raised to 2. Okay, and if r is much greater than the what? L, then this L can be neglected, so it will becomes what? Mu naught 4 pi 2m divided by r cube, where m is equal to what? Dipole moment. M is equal to what? Dipole moment. Okay, so next, this is what? Axial, and this is equatorial. So what will be the magnetic field along the equatorial point? Along the equatorial point, so B equatorial is equal to what? Mu naught minus mu naught upon 4 pi m divided by r square plus l square raised to 3 by 2. Okay, so you can exactly compare with the electric dipole along the axial point and along the equatorial point. There is a P, here is the what? M itself. Okay, so there is a 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, here it is mu naught upon 4 pi. Okay, so this is what the only difference. And if r is much greater than the L, then this L is can be neglected, so you will get the same value. And there is what? Relation between the B axial and B equatorial, that is B axial is equal to what? Minus 2 times B equatorial. Minus 2 times B equatorial. Okay, so these are the what? Some facts regarding the dipole moment. Okay. So next one we will see okay, torque. Unlike if you place the electric charge, electric dipole in the magnetic field, then the torque is given by Pe sin theta itself. Pe sin theta. Same way, if you place this magnetic dipole in the magnetic field, then it will also experience the torque, and that torque is given by what? Mb sin theta, where instead of P there is M, instead of electric field there is a magnetic field. Okay, so this is what? Torque is equal to what? Mb sin theta. Okay, so next is when the torque is maximum and when the torque is minimum. Okay, so torque is maximum when the angle is theta 90 degree, and torque is minimum when the angle theta is equal to what? 0 degree or 180 degree. Okay, so next one, potential energy of a dipole. Potential energy of a dipole. Okay, so potential energy, when you place this dipole and rotate it by some angle, okay, so from the initial angle to final angle, if you measure the potential energy, it will give you U is equal to what? Minus mb cos theta 2 minus cos theta 1, where it is cos theta 2 final angle, cos theta 1 is initial angle. Okay, now if the this dipole is rotated from the what equilibrium position, then u is equal to what? Okay, equilibrium position cos that means 0 degree. Okay, so if you place this value, you will get what? U is equal to what? Minus mb cos theta, minus mb cos theta. So on depending this value, the potential energy is minimum and maximum. So when the maximum, when theta is equal to what? 180 degree, it will give you what? mb, because cos of 180 minus 1, so minus minus plus. So this is the maximum potential energy. And when the potential energy is minimum, when theta is equal to what? 0 degree, because cos of 0 becomes 1 and it will be minus itself. And when u is equal to 0, when theta is equal to what? 90 degree, and then potential energy will be what? Almost 0. Okay, so these are the what things regarding the potential energy of a dipole. Now suppose magnetic dipole moment of a current carrying circular wire. Suppose you have the circular wire, okay, and through this I current is flowing, and this wire has a circular wire has a radius r. Okay, and then if it is having radius r, then area is a. Okay, then the magnetic dipole moment of the current carrying conductor is given by current through that conductor, circular wire, and the area of the area of the circular wire. Okay, and same magnetic moment is nothing but the ampere meter square itself. Okay, so remember this equation: magnetic dipole moment of a current carrying conductor, circular current carrying conductor is I into a. If it is a square, area of the square. If it is circle, area of the circle. Okay, so area depends on the shape of the coil. Okay, next, magnetic dipole moment of the electron revolving. Okay, so you know there is what? Nucleus, and around that nucleus electron is revolving. So this electron is revolving and this current is moving, both are in the same, because current is nothing but the electron itself, and this electron is already moving. So this also constitutes some magnetic moment. Okay, and that magnetic moment is given by L, mu L. So mu L means what? Angular magnetic momentum. E, charge on the electron 2 divided by m divided by 2m. Okay, m is nothing but the charge, mass of the charge, electron, and this L is nothing but the angular momentum. So that L can be written as mvr. Actually L can be written as mvr. Okay, so this is what the magnitude, but vector form of this equation is mu L vector and E divided by 2m into L vector. Okay, so this is what the vector form. So this is magnetic dipole moment of the revolving electron around the nucleus. Okay, so next is if you take this L to the denominator, it becomes what? Mu L divided by L is equal to what? E divided by 2me, and this ratio is known as what? Gyromagnetic ratio. So remember this one. Sometimes they ask directly equation, which of the following equation is represents the gyrometric equation. So they will give you one equation, they will give you second equation like mu L divided by L, E divided by m, they will skip the 2. Okay, so this is the exact equation, and it all are constant. E is nothing but the charge on the electron 1.6 10 to the power of minus 19, 2 mass of the electron. Okay, if you place, you will get the certain value, and that is fixed. Okay, so this is the constant. Gyrometric ratio is what? One constant, because all are constant values. Next is Bohr magneton. So Bohr magneton is nothing but a minimum value of the magnetic moment associated with electron. Okay, if the electron is revolving, then how much is the magnetic moment associated with that electron? If it is in the first orbit, if it is in the second orbit, then how to calculate? And that equation is given by mu m. Okay, so mu is nothing but the magnetic moment. We take the m here, but for the small particles we represent it is mu minimum NEH divided by 4 pi ME. Okay, and if you place all the value, N first orbit, E charge on the orbit, H is nothing but the Planck's constant, 4 pi constant, ME mass of the electron. If you place all the value, you will get this value. Okay, and this is nothing but the Bohr magneton. This is nothing but the value of the Bohr magneton. So sometimes this value can be asked. Okay, write down. You can say the Bohr magneton value is. They will give you so many options. Okay, in that they will change 10 to the power of minus 24, 10 to the power of minus 10, or something else. Okay, so this is the exact value. Okay, and Bohr magneton has a unit ampere meter square, because it is a magnetic moment. So magnetic moment in any case, unit is what? Same, ampere meter square. Okay, so next is total magnetic moment of the electron. Okay, actually electron is revolving, but along with revolution it is spinning also. Okay, so due to the revolution there is a magnetic moment. Okay, and due to the spinning there is what magnetic moment. So this is what the magnetic moment due to the revolution, and this is the magnetic moment due to the spinning itself. Okay, so what is the total magnetic moment of the electron? It is nothing but the vector sum of these two magnetic moment. So if you add these two, you will get total magnetic moment is nothing but the minus E divided by 2me multiply by bracket L vector plus 2s vector, where L is nothing but the angular momentum, and this angular momentum, and this s is nothing but the what, a spinning momentum. Okay, so remember this value, remember this equation. Okay, write it down 10 times, you will come to know. Okay, so this is what all about the magnetism and matter. Okay, just pause the video and just have a look. Okay, how these equations can be occurred. You can compare this torque B axial, B equatorial with your what, electric charge also, or electric dipole. There is a there is a what, P, here it is M. There is a electric field, here it is what, a magnetic field. Okay, so this is what only difference. Okay, so just note down, pause the video and just see it once again. Okay. So moving towards the next part, that is nothing but bar magnet. Okay, so you have to know regarding the bar magnet and the properties of the magnetic field lines around the bar magnet. Okay, so you have the properties of the electric field. Okay, like it starts from the what, positive charge, ends at the negative charge. Same way there is what properties of the magnetic field lines, starts from the north pole, ends at south pole. It forms the closed loop, it never intersect with each other. Okay, and the tangent at the on the magnetic field lines will give you what, the direction of the magnetic field lines. Okay, so these properties you have to remember. Then there is what, Gauss law in electrostatic. Gauss law in electrostatic, that is magnetic flux is equal to what, it becomes what, Q divided by epsilon naught. This is what the Gauss law in magnetic electrostatic field. Same way there is what, Gauss law in magnetism also. So that Gauss law in magnetism is nothing but the closed integral of B ds, okay, is equal to what, 0. Okay, that means through any closed surface their magnetic field, the net magnetic field is 0. Okay, so this is what the meaning of this equation. Then magnetic field of the earth. Okay, so you know that around the earth there is a magnetic field lines also. Okay, and the origin of the magnetic field lines around the earth is nothing but the, at the center core there is what, molten magma, and inside that molten magma there are so many charged particles are revolving with axis of the earth, and due to this rotation of those charged particles or the ions will give rise to the what, the magnetic field around the earth. Okay, and then origin is written here. So magnetic moment of the earth, so magnetic moment of the earth is given by what, this equation. So this is what the magnetic moment of the earth, it is 8 into 10 to the power of 22 ampere meter square. Okay, so that magnetic moment is nothing but the vector which is pointing from the what, south pole to north pole. So from the south pole to north pole, this is what the M actually. So it has a strength this much, okay, ampere meter square. Then the magnetic field of the strength around the earth is nearby 10 to the power of minus 4 Tesla, 10 to the power of minus 4 Tesla, and we know 1 Gauss is equal to what, 10 to the power of minus 4 Tesla itself, and Tesla is the SI unit of the magnetic field. Okay, and then we have some terms related to what, a magnetic field around the earth. There is what, magnetic meridian, okay, geographical axis, okay, and then angle of dip, angle of inclination, angle of declination is there. Okay, so remember all those definition, but in that also angle of inclination is important. So that is nothing but the angle of dip. So angle of dip at the equator is equal to 0, and angle of dip at the pole is equal to what, 90 degrees. So remember these two value. And then around the magnetic field, that means if the total magnetic field is B, there is what, one component horizontal and there is what, one component vertical. So BH is nothing but the horizontal component, B cos theta, and BV is nothing but the vertical component, that is B sin theta. So this is B cos theta and this is B sin theta. Okay, and there is what, net magnetic field. So net magnetic field is nothing but the under root of BH square plus BV square. Okay, and then angle of dip, if you know the vertical component of the earth's magnetic field, horizontal component of the earth's magnetic field, then the delta, that is nothing but the angle of dip, can be calculated by using this equation. So tan delta is equal to what, BV divided by BH. Okay, and then you know, okay, if this is what the earth, there is what, magnetic field around the earth. okay, it is everywhere, magnetic field around the what, everywhere, north and south. So there are some lines are specified. If suppose isogonic lines means what, the lines having the same declination angle, so those lines are known as what, isogonic. Suppose this is the line of maybe isogonic, then at each point if you calculate the angle of declination value will be same. Okay, so such a line is known as what, isogonic lines. And then agonic lines are known as what, where the zero declination. Okay, that means suppose at any point declination angle becomes 0. So this line is known as what, agonic lines. Okay, so next is isoclinical lines. So isoclinical lines means what, having a same angle of dip. So here it is having the same declination angle, here it is having the same angle of dip. Okay, so such a lines are known as what, isoclinical lines. Then only aclinical lines means what, having a angle of inclination becomes 0 or angle of dip becomes 0. So on that line, if it is angle of inclination or delta is equal to 0, that line is known as what, aclinical lines. And then isodynamic lines are also there. Okay, so isodynamic means what, having the same horizontal components. Okay, if you suppose this is the line around the earth's around the earth, if on this line if the BH value is same for all the points, then that line is known as what, isodynamic line. Okay, so remember this all the lines. Okay, so what is the meaning of all the lines? Okay, and these are what some equations, sort of equations you have to know regarding the what, magnetism. So magnetic intensity is given by what, B is equal to what, mu naught H, where mu naught is equal to what, permittivity of the free space. Okay, and H is nothing but the magnetic intensity and B is nothing but the magnetic induction. Okay, and it has a unit, magnetic intensity has a unit ampere meter, and this is what the dimension formula, and these are the what, other units for the magnetic intensity. So just write it 2 or 3 times. Okay, sometimes they will ask directly question, what is the dimension formula of magnetic intensity? So they will give you 4 options. In that 4 options you will have this, or what is the unit of the magnetic intensity. This maybe they will give you ampere meter, or maybe out of these 2. Okay, so remember, just write it down and note down the equation and then unit and the dimension formula. Next is intensity of the magnetization. Okay, intensity of the magnetization is nothing but the capital M, and that is a vector quantity. It is nothing but the magnetic moment per unit volume, and it has a dimension ampere per meter square. Okay, and then magnetic permeability. Okay, suppose if you have the magnet, how much the magnetic field lines are permeable through any material, it is given by what, B divided by H, where B is nothing but the magnetic induction, H is nothing but the what, magnetic intensity. Okay, and it has a dimension and then unit. Okay, so write down the units and note down the dimension also. Okay, so important, this one you have to mark it. Then relative permeability. So relative permeability is mu r is equal to what, mu divided by mu naught. So mu is nothing but the actually absolute permeability, and then mu naught is nothing but the permeability of the free space. Okay, and it is a unitless quantity because mu and mu naught both are measured in the same quantity, so they will cancel out. You will be left with what, a unitless quantity. Next is magnetic susceptibility. Okay, so susceptibility means what, how much any material acquire the magnetic field. Some materials does not like the magnetic field lines, or some material likes the magnetic field lines. So that quantity is known as what, susceptibility, and susceptibility is equal to what, magnetic intensity divided by magnetic intensity of the magnetization divided by magnetic intensity. Okay, and it is also a unitless quantity. Okay, and susceptibility is different for the different material. If it is a paramagnetic material, diamagnetic material, or maybe ferromagnetic material. Okay, so we will come to know that value. Okay, so susceptibility depends, and this susceptibility also depends on the temperature of the material. Okay, so we will come to know that susceptibility, and then relation between the what, relative permeability and the susceptibility. So this is what the relation at 1 year this question was asked. So what is the relation between the mu r and susceptibility? So write down this relation, mu r is equal to what, 1 plus then susceptibility. Okay, so these are the what, some facts regarding the magnetism and matter. Okay, just pause the video and just have a look. Okay, if you have any doubt, then see it once again and get clarify your doubts. Okay, because This is what the simple topic, and they will ask you a straight away direct question. Okay, there is no complex question is there. So they will just ask you what is the angle of inclination or angle of dip at the equator or pole, maybe 0, 180 degree, 60 degree, 90 degree. Okay, so like that options will be there. Okay, so just pause the video and see it once again. So now moving towards the last part of this topic. Okay, so important parts. So magnetism and matter, already we have seen the magnetism related terms. Now matters means what? There are certain matters or materials are present or substance are present. They are categorized by according to their behavior in the magnetic field. Okay, so if you consider this marker, it is not attracted by the magnets. So this marker may be a diamagnetic material. Okay, it is not attracted by the material. So depending on this, they have categorized the three materials. Is nothing but the diamagnetism, paramagnetism, and ferromagnetism. And these are the what some properties are written. Okay, so short you will get the one question depending on this property. Okay, so you have to mug up each and every property, how the properties are changes with the temperature. Okay, each and everything. So we will start with the what? The diamagnetism material. So the diamagnetism material are nothing but the which is feebly magnetizing in the opposite direction of the what? Magnetic field. Okay, so feebly means what? Weakly. It is weakly magnetizing in the opposite direction of the what? Magnetic field. Okay, so that means it is not attracting the magnetic field. Then weakly repelled by the magnet. If you take the diamagnetic material, it will not repel by the what? Other magnets. Okay, so weakly repelled by the magnet. Examples are bismuth, copper, Pb, lead, zinc, okay, tin, and then gold, silver, water, and then nitrogen gas, and then sodium chloride. These are the what some examples, and remember all these examples. Okay, so all these examples are important. Next is origin, how the diamagnetism in the matters are originate. So that origin is nothing but the revolution of the electron. Okay, so remember this also. Now suppose in between the magnets, if you place the diamagnetic material, then the magnetic field will get repelled. So you can see here the magnetic fields are repelled. So this material is known as what? A diamagnetic material which repel the magnetic field. It takes only a few magnetic field lines inside it. Okay, so that's why it repel. Okay, so now suppose this is what the one cup, okay, or dish, and you have placed the diamagnetic liquid here, If the poles are very close, then you will see here it is a concave shape. It becomes what? A concave shape on this inside this liquid. Okay, so this is what the diamagnetic liquid, and if the poles are very separated apart from each other, then you will get what? This kind of a shape. Okay, so remember this kind of a both the shape. Okay, so when it is close, you will get the concave, and when apart, you will get what? Convex. Okay, so next is freely suspended diamagnetic material orient perpendicularly. Okay, suppose if you suspend this one here, okay, if you suspend this diamagnetic material, okay, so it will always, if you suspend it like this, it will always make a perpendicular. If you suspend it, it will make what? Perpendicular to the what? Direction of the magnetic field. So this is what the one point present in all the state, solid, liquid state, and the gaseous state. Okay, and then susceptibility is very small and negative. For diamagnetic material, susceptibility is small and the negative. Remember these all the important points. Okay, and then relative permeability, that is nothing but the mu r is small but positive. It is small but positive, but less than the 1. And then susceptibility does not depend on the temperature as well as the magnetic strength of the magnetic field. Okay, suppose if you heat this material, it will repel the same amount of the magnetic field lines. So that's why, or it will not take much magnetic field if you heat it, or maybe temperature increases or decreases. That's why susceptibility does not depend. Okay, it is independent of the temperature. Temperature will not affect the susceptibility. It will be always remain constant. Next, same way paramagnetic material. So it is nothing but the feebly magnetizing in the direction of the magnetizing field. Here it is opposite direction, but here it is in the direction, but weakly. Next is feebly attracted by the magnets. It does not attract, but here paramagnetic materials are attracted weakly, not strongly. Then these are the what examples. Remember all these examples: manganese, aluminum, chromium, platinum, sodium, copper chloride, or maybe oxygen. Okay, at NTP. And then origin is nothing but the revolution and the spin of the electron, and both constitute what? Atomic spin. It is nothing but the atomic spin. And the same These paramagnetic materials repel magnetic field, it attracts a few magnetic field, it likes the magnetic fields. Okay, so out of this magnetic field, it only attracted the 3 magnetic field. So susceptibility is more compared to what diamagnetic. And if you place it is very close, then you will see what a convex, and if you make it very large, you will see what a bulge or concave. Okay, so exactly opposite to the what diamagnetic material. Next is freely suspended paramagnetic material. If you suspend here paramagnetic material in like this, okay, in case of the diamagnetic material, it will orient perpendicularly, but if you suspend here paramagnetic material, it will orient in the direction of the magnetic field, in the or parallel to its direction of the magnetic field. Next is what present in solid and liquid. Sometimes it is also present in gases also. Okay, so that is what exception. Susceptibility is positive but small. Positive but small. Here it is negative but small. Small and negative. Relative permeability is greater than the 1. Okay, here it is smaller than the 1. And next is, that means both are positive here, and the susceptibility depends on the temperature. And how it is depends, susceptibility is inversely proportional to what temperature. That means if you increase the temperature, the susceptibility is less, and if the susceptibility is less, it will repel all the magnetic field. Okay, and if you decrease the temperature, it will attract more magnetism. Okay, so if you plot the graph of susceptibility versus temperature, so as the temperature increases, susceptibility of the material goes on decreases. Okay, so remember this graph, and this is equation, and this C is nothing but the Curie constant. It is nothing but the what Curie constant. Okay, and the last one is what a ferromagnetic material. Okay, so it is very important. Ferromagnetic materials are cobalt, iron, nickel, alnico or gadolinium. These are the what examples, and origin is nothing but the atomic domain. And sometimes they ask the what is the size of the domain, So size of the domain is nothing but the 1 mm, and in 1 mm how many atoms are there? 10 to the power of 11 atoms are there. 10 to the power of 11 atoms are there. Okay, and present in only solid, not in present in liquid and the gas, only solid. Susceptibility is very high. Okay, and then susceptibility depends on the temperature according to this equation, where Tc is nothing but the Curie temperature at which a ferromagnetic material turns into what paramagnetic material. Okay, so there are what, if you take the nickel is a ferromagnetic material, but it can be turned into what paramagnetic material if you heat at certain temperature, and that temperature is known as what critical temperature or Curie temperature. Okay, and then there are what some types of the magnets, soft magnets and hard magnets. If you take the hysteresis graph or hysteresis loop, for the soft magnets, this loop is very narrow. Which is plot between the what P and H. And for the hard magnet, it is very broad. Okay, so get the difference between them. And the examples are what soft iron, Mu metal. Okay, and here it is examples of steel, alnico, lodestone, and the ticonal. Okay, and then these for the soft magnets, remember this all the properties. Soft magnets, remember this all the properties: low retentivity, low coercivity, low hysteresis loss, and then high magnetic permeability. Okay, so retentivity and the coercivity, you can get the definition. What is the meaning? Same, exactly opposite. For the hard magnets, high retentivity, high coercivity, high hysteresis loss, and the used to make the permanent magnets. Okay, so hard magnets are used to make the permanent magnets. Okay, now last is what the electromagnets are there. Okay, so electromagnets means nothing but the coil is like spring, and inside that there is a core, and that core has some property. Okay, so core has property, it must be high permeability and it must have low retentivity. Okay, so high permeability and then low retentivity. Now this is one equation, time period of the bar magnet is equal to what 2 pi under root of I divided by mb. I is nothing but the what it is moment of inertia. Okay, suppose this, if you suspend this magnet, north pole and south pole, in the magnetic field, so it will start oscillating. So that oscillation is nothing but the time period, and how much time it will take to complete one oscillation given by this equation. T is equal to what 2 pi under root of I divided by mb. M is nothing but the magnetic moment, B is nothing but the magnetic field, and then I is nothing but the moment of inertia of this bar magnet. I think that value is I, moment of inertia of bar magnet is ml square upon 12, I think. Okay, so just get it, check whether it is correct or wrong. Okay, maybe it is 12 or maybe it is 3. Okay, so just have a look. Okay, so these are the what some basic regarding the what magnetism and matter. Okay, so now we will try to solve some numericals. Okay, so some MCQ depending on this topic. Okay. But remember, just mug up all these property. Just you have to mug up what all this property for the what diamagnetism material and paramagnetism material and then ferromagnetism material, each and everything. Okay, susceptibility is higher, positive, negative. Okay, so just have a look. Okay, so now we will try to solve some numericals. Okay, so there are some sort of numericals you need calculation, but I have introduced some numericals which are you have directly question. So we will see the second one directly. Okay, so I will solve all those, but the material suitable for the making of electromagnets. Okay, so already while dealing with what electromagnets, that means soft magnet, hard magnets, in that segment I have explained you exactly the electromagnets, okay. So it must be what these are the what some options are given. So high retentivity and the low coercivity, it is the option. To make the electromagnets you need what high retentivity and low coercivity. Okay, so next is the magnets. Okay, so you can see maybe if it is getting the bright. So next is this one, a magnetic meridian. So magnetic meridian is nothing but the vertical plane. Okay, among this option it is a vertical plane passing through the what north and south pole. Okay, and then next is magnetic susceptibility of a diamagnetic material. So you have to remember all the properties of the diamagnetic material, paramagnetic and then ferromagnetic. So for the diamagnetic material the susceptibility is always negative, so option B is correct. Okay, and here is also the eighth question is, at magnetic poles the earth, at the magnetic poles of the earth a compass needle will be, what will happen to the compass needle? So actually if you take this as a compass needle, if you place it here, okay, you will definitely it will be orient horizontally. But if you take this magnetic needle at the north pole or maybe south pole, it will make a vertical alignment. So option A is correct here. Option A is correct. Okay. So next one. Okay. And now we will try to solve the first one. A particle of charge q and the mass m moves in a circular orbit of radius r with angular speed omega. Okay, so there is what particle which is moving in the circular part with omega velocity, charge having q and the mass is m with moving r. Okay, then the ratio of the magnitude of magnetic moment and its angular momentum depends on. So you have to find out what magnetic moment divided by L, you have to find out. Okay, so now anything which is moving in the circular orbit, angular momentum is equal to what, mr square omega. So this is what we got. Now our job is to find out the m. Okay, so m is equal to what, I into a, therefore m is equal to what, I is nothing but you can say charge divided by time and multiply by a. So m is equal to what, charge multiply by frequency and this a, because 1 upon t is nothing but the frequency, and this m is equal to what, q. Okay, and then frequency is nothing but omega upon 2 pi, and this area is nothing but pi r square. Okay, pi will get cancelled. Okay, so sorry, not pi will get cancelled. Okay, r square, so you will get pi omega square. Okay, q by m. So pi will get cancelled, so left is what, m is equal to what, q omega r square divided by 2, q omega divided by q. Okay, so this is what the magnetic moment and this is angular momentum. So magnetic moment divided by angular momentum, so magnetic moment is q omega r square. Okay, and then divided by 2 it is, and 2 this multiply by this, so 2 m r square omega. So r square omega cancel out, so m by L, it only q by 2m. So this ratio only left with what, charge and the mass. So option C will be correct, only charge and the mass. Okay, so this is what the answer for this question. Next one, we will deal with the next question. If you didn't understand, then you just pause the video or just rewind this video, then you will come to know. Okay, so next one, the two magnets of equal magnetic dipole moment m each are placed as shown in the figure. Okay, and then the resultant magnetic moment is, okay, so these are the what option and this is what the orientation. Okay, so now suppose this is the first magnet, okay, and this is the second magnet. Here is the south and then north, south, and this is north. Okay, so for this magnetic moment is pointing in this direction. Okay, and for this magnetic moment is pointing in this direction. Okay, and this angle is given 60 degree. So I arrange them. So one will be pointing m this direction, another is pointing m this direction, and this becomes angle what, 120 degree, because this angle is given 60 degree and total angle is 180. So 180 minus 60 you will get 120. Therefore these are the two vectors by making an angle theta. So m is equal to what, under root of m square plus m square, because m1 m2 both are same, so m square plus m square plus 2 m1 m2, but both are same, hence becomes m square, and then cos of 120 becomes minus half, correct. So if you solve this, m is equal to what, okay, so 2 cancel out, minus becomes multiply m square minus plus m square, so only left is what, m square. So magnetic moment, net magnetic moment is nothing but the m itself. Okay, so option A is correct, option A is correct. Okay, so next one we will see. So just rub this. Sorry. Okay, so next one, okay, the fourth one we will see. The fourth one, two wires of the same length are shaped into square and the circle. Okay, so there are what, one wire of same length and there is what, another wire of same length. One is bent into circle and another is bent into the what, a square. Okay, so here L can be written as what, 2 pi r. Length of the wire is nothing but the circumference of the circle, and here L is nothing but what, that is, sorry, new L, new length, each length will be what, L divided by 4 itself, L divided by 4 itself. Okay, so here you have to take what, magnetic moment I will make it here m1, so I into A. So m1 is equal to what, I into area is nothing but pi r square. So m1 is equal to what, I into pi, but r square is nothing but L upon 2 pi. So L upon 2 pi the whole square. Therefore m1 is equal to what, I multiply by pi and then L square by 4 pi square, correct. 1 pi will cancel out, so left is what, m1 is equal to what, I L square, okay, I L square divided by 4 pi itself, 4 pi. Okay, so this is what the first magnetic moment of this circle. Similarly, magnetic moment of this square is nothing but I into area of the square. So I will take this as a m2. So I, okay, area is nothing but the one side square, and what is the one side, it becomes L by 4 the whole square. Therefore m2 is equal to what, I L square by 16, I L square by 16. So this is m2 and this is m1. So they have asked ratio of the magnetic moment of the square to circle, therefore it becomes what, m2 divided by m1. So m2 is this much, so it becomes what, I L square divided by 4 pi, okay, 4 pi, and then sorry, 16, it is 16. Okay, multiply by or divided by this, but it will multiply. So 4 pi divided by I L square, I L square cancel out, 4s are 16. So m2 divided by m1 is equal to what, pi by 4, and that pi by 4 is nothing but what, option C, pi is to 4. Okay, so this is what the answer. Next one, sixth one, a horizontal and the vertical components of the earths are equal, then the angle of dp is what, okay. So vertical component and horizontal component, BH and BV both are equal, then what will be the delta, okay. So here given is what? BH is equal to what? BV, and we will see that this is as B. We know tan delta is equal to what? BV divided by BH. BV divided by BH. Therefore, tan delta, both are same, B by B, you will get 1. Therefore, delta is equal to what? Tan inverse of 1. Hence, delta is equal to what? For which angle? Tan inverse of 1 will be there, 45 degree. Okay. So, option B will be correct. Okay. This is already we have solved. And then coming to the last one. Coming to the what? Last MCQ. So, the Earth's magnetic field at certain place has a horizontal component 0.3 Gauss. So, horizontal component is given 0.3 Gauss, okay, and the total strength is given. So, B is given 0.5 Gauss, okay. Find out the angle of dip. We know angle of dip, tan delta is equal to what? BV divided by BH, but BV is not given, okay. So, we will find out from this equation. B is equal to what? Under root of BH square plus BV square, okay. So, if you try to solve this, you will get what? BV is equal to what? Under root of actually B square minus BH square, okay. Place the value of B, place the value of H, definitely you will get what? BV is equal to 0.4, okay. Just solve, simple calculation. So, I will not do this. So, BV is equal to what? 0.4. Therefore, tan delta is equal to what? 0.4 divided by 0.3. Hence, delta is equal to what? Tan inverse of 4 by 3 itself. 4 by 3. Okay. So, option 4 is correct. Option 4 is correct. Okay. So, these are the what some numericals I have solved. So, you will get such a kind of a varieties only in this topic, especially the properties of the paramagnetic, diamagnetic and the ferromagnetic. All the properties you have to know. Susceptibility, how it depends on the temperature, Curie law, okay, and then some properties of the electromagnetics, soft magnetics, okay, and then the magnetic moment and the Earth's magnetic component, horizontal component and vertical component, and that equations, okay. So, these are the what the things or the numericals we have seen on the magnetism and matter, okay. So, see you in the next video.
Girl about a 10, I should fuck her in the Benz.